Recording. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of do a repeat. 14 through 19, you're going to be changing from rectangular form to polar, which rectangular form is x comma y. And we're going to look at a graph of this too to see the difference, and you're going to change it to r theta, which r is found by taking the square root of x squared plus y squared. And I want you to make sure you simplify your radical. If you got the square root of 20, make sure you make it 2 radical 5. Theta is found by taking the inverse tangent or the arc tangent of y divided by x. You're going to make use of your calculator, or you're going to get it off your trig charts, because I want you to use exact answers whenever possible. 0, 30, 45, 60, use them. But if x is negative, so if this x is ever negative, you always automatically add 180 degrees. And otherwise, if it's not one of our main trig functions or special ones, I want you to change it to the nearest minute. On 20 through 25, you're going to be changing polar form to rectangular, so that means we're going back r theta to x comma y. And the formulas for it is r times the cosine of theta and r times the sine of theta. And again, use exact answers whenever possible, round to the nearest hundredths if it doesn't come out nice. So first group, examples of 14 through 19. Okay, first example, negative 1, 3. And now you guys are good. Well, I'll erase that here in just a minute. I'll make sure they get time to write things down. Negative 1, 3, I want to change it to polar form. So in order to change it to polar form, you've got to find what r is. And r is found by taking the square root of these two numbers squared. So Delaney, what would be a negative 1 squared?
1.
And 3 squared.
9.
So we're going to get square root of 10, and that's simplified, isn't it? There's not any perfect squares in it. Okay, Zach, to find the theta, it's going to be the arc tangent of y divided by x. And what's my y? 3. And my x?
1. Negative 1.
Now, I did a negative 1 from the get-go to make sure if x is negative, you're going to add 180. So this is really saying the arc tangent of a negative 3, right? Okay, now, is 3 on your chart? Is that one of the common ones you have for tangent?
No.
No, so that means you need your calculator. And I said you were going to need your calculators. So this would be second tangent of 3 divided by negative 1.
Negative 71.
Okay, I don't need to tell me what it is yet, because since this is negative, you've got to add 180 to that. So go ahead and do that in your calculator. Once you get that, add 180 to it, then hit your degrees, minutes, seconds.
108.26.
And that's 108.26 minutes?
Yeah.
So 108.26. Anybody else 108.26?
Yep.
And we're rounded to the nearest minute if it's one that doesn't come out nice. So then the answer for this we'd say is the square root of 10, 108.26. And we did one that didn't come out nice to begin with, so you had it. Now I want you to think about, or visualize, where's the negative 1, 3 located in the rectangular coordinate system?
The second quadrant.
It's over 1 up 3, right? Somewhere in there? Where is, what's the square root of 10, somebody? About 3 something?
3.16.
So 3.1. Where's 108 degrees located on the polar system?
The
Second
second.
quadrant.
It's that second quadrant, but in that first one past it?
Yeah.
Because the first one past is 105, so that'd be just a little bit past it?
Yeah.
And it'd be out a little bit 3 radiuses?
Yeah.
Does it look to be in the same location?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of, if you think, visually think, do they end up in the same place? Okay, next one. Let's go with,
Already did.
yes, sure did. When that heater comes on, it does that to us.
Why do they do
We've got 2 and a negative 2. So we want to change it to its polar form. So r is going to equal, Dalton, what are my x squared?
It would be 4.
And what's my y squared?
4.
So we end up with,
Square root of 8.
which simplifies to
The 2 square root of
square root of 2. Okay, our theta, Delaney is arctangent of,
-2 over 2.
so that's going to be a -1, isn't it? Now, don't we have tangent on your trig chart?
Yeah,
Isn't tangent 1 at 45 degrees?
yeah.
And this would be it's a -1, so the tangent would be positive in the,
First.
I mean, it's a -1, so it'd be negative in the second and the fourth, but the fourth quadrant's the one we'd be taking it to. Because we always do the principal value, remember the principal values?
Yeah.
Okay, or you can just keep it a negative if you want to. So that was a -45 degrees. Okay,
I'm just gonna do
that's fine. Or you can add 360 to it. Why could I add 360 to it?
that. Terminal angle.
Anytime you've got a negative angle and you want it in the right range, you could add 360 to get it where it belongs. So that'd be 315, right? Okay, so let's do that, just add 360. Or you can leave it the -45, so I'm gonna write it either way. 2 square roots of 2 and a -45, or 2 square roots of 2 and 315.
Why did you do two of them?
Because it could be either, couldn't it? Isn't this the
Do
same
you
thing?
have to do that in homework?
No, I said you could do either, what's or mean?
Well, I didn't hear you say either.
Okay, you can have either or one of those. Okay, let's go with 0 and 1. 0 and 1. Now, again, visually think, where is 2, -2 located at?
Second.
It's over
Third
2, down,
Yeah, fourth quadrant.
it's in fourth quadrant. Whereas, and this way is where I might want the 315, because didn't we have to change those to where it was easier to graph?
Yeah.
So 315's fourth quadrant, 2 square roots of 2 isn't going to be about the same location. So you can visually think about your points and see if they land at the same place. 0, 1. So R is going to equal, we're ready for Tara. What's our x and our y squared?
0 plus 1
Which ends up being
is 1.
just 1. Okay, Wyatt. Theta, arctangent.
1 over 0.
Which 1 over 0 is undefined, right? And
Yeah.
isn't that on our chart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the tangent undefined?
90 or 270.
So we're gonna take the 90. The reason we take the 90 is this one's positive, right? If it had been negative, we would have taken the 270. So 90 degrees. And so we change this, this would be 90 degrees. And again, think, where is 0, 1 on the coordinate plane?
Over 0.
To the origin up 1, right? Where is 190 degrees?
Origin up 1.
So you guys see it does land at the same location. Okay, do you guys want more of 14 through 19 examples?
No.
We can do more.
Okay.
We're good?
I think so.
Okay, next group. We're gonna go from 20 to 25 this time. We're going the reverse order. You're gonna be changing our theta to x comma y. So let's say that I have 2 and pi over 4. Pi over 4 changes to what?
45 degrees.
45 degrees. So x becomes r times the cosine of 45, and y becomes r times the sine of 45. Now, this is one of those where you can get exact answers, because isn't it a 45 on our chart? Don't you know the sine and the cosine and all that of 45 degrees?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the cosine of 45 degrees? Square root of 2 over 2. So the 2's will cancel and I get the square root of 2. What's the sine of 45 degrees? Same thing. Isn't the sine and cosine the same at that location? So we get square root of 2. And again, think about where is 245 located on a polar coordinate? First quadrant, right? Halfway in the middle, out 2 radiuses. And this one, where's it located? first quadrant. And it'd be over 1.4 up 1.4, which if you think about what quadrants it is, that kind of gets you good enough to checking it. Okay, what would I do on that one? What is that?
36.
180 over 5, so 36.
Yeah.
So x is going to equal r times the cosine of 36 degrees. Is 36 degrees on your,
No.
one of your, no. So this one you're going to need your calculator on. And since it's going to be use of your calculator, what did I tell you to round to? Nearest hundredths. Now minutes is if you got your angle, if you want your angle. But on this one, what's a -3 times the cosine of 76 degrees?
76.
Or excuse me, 36.
It's negative 2.443.
Negative 2.43.
Yes.
Does anybody else get that? Okay, and let's see, JC, what's a -3 times the sine of 36?
Negative 1.76.
Negative 1.76. Anybody else get that?
Yeah.
Okay, so our answer then is negative 2.43 and a negative 1.76. Okay, let's go with 8, 240 degrees. Okay, this 240 degrees is going to be on our chart.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Remember, it's up above, right? Which one is it up above? 60. So it's the same as 60. 60 is the reference angle. So this would be x equals 8 times the cosine of 240. And y equals 8 times the sine of 240. So what's the cosine of 240?
1/2.
So 8, but 240 is in what quadrant? We've got a
Third.
third. So it would be what in the third? Negative 1/2, right?
Whoa.
Does everybody remember that? Now, if you have, let's see, JC probably has it still. Yep, she does. See down below where you have these quadrants listed out the side? So when you see that 240, we see third quadrant. You know you need to think about the signs in it. So what is now the sine of 240?
It's gonna be positive 30.
It's in third quadrant. What's the sine in the third quadrant?
It's negative.
Negative, because tangent's the one that's positive. Isn't it a radical 3 over 2?
Yes.
So we end up with negative 4 square root of 3. So our answer is negative 4 and negative 4 square roots of 3. Here's where if you visually think about the points, if you made a mistake by not putting it in the right quadrant, you'd find out pretty quick that your answer was wrong, because it wouldn't be in the right quadrant when you got finished. Where's 8, 240 located on a polar coordinate?
Third.
Third quadrant, right? So just think third. Where's a negative 4 square roots of 3 located? Third quadrant. So we should have, now if we'd have not caught ourselves and said third quadrant, we'd have ended up in the first quadrant, which you knew it had to be wrong, because this one's in the third. Okay, one more. Let's go 5 and 5 pi over 4. What do I do with 5 pi over 4, Richard?
Convert to degrees would be, that'd be 225. Would it?
225 is right. Is 225 on our,
Yes.
so it'd be x would be 5 times the cosine of 225, and y would be 5 times the sine of 225. So what's the cosine of 225, and what quadrant are we in?
You're in the third.
Third.
Square root of 2 over 2.
So 5 times the square root of 2 over 2, but it'd be negative. And sine is also in the third quadrant, and what is it? Sine at 225, what is it?
It's also- that's-
Also radical 2 over 2, isn't it? And in the third quadrant, what's the sign? Negative, so we get the same thing. So the answer for this one is negative 5 squared to 2 over 2, and negative 5 squared to 2 over 2. Okay, do you guys have questions? So the first group, the 14 through 19, is you're changing it to r theta, where in the last group you're changing it to rectangular form. And make sure you visualize your answer to make sure your answer seems reasonable. Now, do you guys have questions? 572. When's this due?
Monday.
Monday, because you aren't here tomorrow. Okay, get busy and let me see the first few. Delaney, you want to shut that off?
Yeah, give me a second.
And let's see, Delaney, you might turn to that page 565.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll just have them read to me what they got.